Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the Warcraft replay here. We are back on the Netease ladder and... Oh, oops. Wrong hockey, but yeah, halfway through the exams, I am done with the most hardest one. Thank God. I can relax a little bit now as, oh, look at this. Netease has newer things, I would say. Oh, broken things maybe? Nope. We have a stats viewer, and it is definitely a lot better than the old one. This one looks a lot more professional, although weirdly placed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to readjust the overlay. Of course, the overlay is still temporary because I haven't had time to sit down and do it properly, but yeah, colorful swinging in as the blue Knight of player in the top right. Are we actually on custom colors? Because that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Your building is complete. Your building is
no, we're not, and I don't know what gives, but oh well. The overlays might have to maybe be readjusted a little bit because the colors. This green is definitely very glaring for me, but keep her going for colorful, who is putting in as blue knight off on the top right. And Fly going for the Farseer first as the red orc player in the bottom left. We're on the map Concealed Hills, and yeah, not much else to say. Concealed Hills is one of those maps that started being played on in 1.30, and yeah, I'm still not too familiar with the patch. Of course, I wasn't too familiar with 1.29 when it came out as well, since the lack of uploads kind of helped it, hurt me a lot, but oh well. Warcraft 3 Reforged has been shown, so I'll just talk about that a little bit and get my opinions out there as, like many people, I would have rather expected Warcraft 1 and 2 to get a remastered first, because it kind of seems weird to have Warcraft 3 because, yeah, Warcraft 1 and 2 still exists. Well, I know Warcraft 3 is mainly just a graphical overhaul, but if it's that, then Warcraft 1 and 2 could have maybe received the love first. Or maybe even, like, I know it's asking a lot, but maybe even just combined all three games into one. Because, I mean, you don't really have too much to work with in terms of writing. All you have to do is make the actual game. The story itself has already been established, so there's like, you know, a good chunk of work not have to be done because, well, it's already there, and yeah, it's just weird, but I am very excited to see Reforged. Not sure how I feel about the pricing of these remasters. I know the StarCraft remaster might have been a little too much for my taste, to be honest, because, I mean, the StarCraft remaster wasn't really, it was more quality of life rather than an actual remaster, so yeah, those are my 2 cents. I do think that the complaints that people have had on the Reddit especially is kind of unwarranted, because yeah, like, a lot of people have been asking for this and here it is, and then a lot of people have been complaining about this, which is really weird. Like, does the community know what it wants, or does it not? I don't know, but either way, we have the Keeper nearly at that level 2 stage. He is having to deal with the Farseer harassment, who, of course, being Farseer, just tossing down his wolves and trying to get at least a couple of kills for himself, but now that he has suffered quite a bit in return, he will probably have to stop, as, I mean, all he needs to do is just force his opponent to his side of the map, and then he can take up or expand freely as possible, which he is now doing. He is already at Stronghold Tech and is going for the Shadowhunter second. We are seeing Headhunters being masked up, which is kind of exciting. We are seeing a Spirit Hole being placed down as well, which kind of indicates that we might be seeing the Shamans joining the fray as well. Shamans will be able to steroid up these Troll Headhunters even further after they get their Berserker upgrades with their the Berserk ability, which I think doubles their attack speed. Meanwhile, increases the damage that they take. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, Bloodlust doesn't have downsides, so stacking those two buffs up together is kind of a world of hurt, especially for a Night Elf, which realistically only has one path to go for when it comes to dealing with a lot of piercing attack types, because Dryads obviously get destroyed because they are unarmored. Hippogriff Riders are still pretty weak against piercing, to be honest, and yeah, Dwarves of Talent is really weak against that. So pretty much the only way to go is Bears or Mountain Giants, but we'll see how Colorful actually takes this route, because I don't think he scouted his opponent just yet. Despite having a lot of Huntresses out, he's not really, as far as I know, he hasn't really taken advantage of those Sentinels just yet. So we are going to wait for that. Good number of Headhunters right now for Fly, which is really good. As you can see here on the tech bar, we have the current research being taken underway, as Troll Regen is on its way, as well as fortified armor on those, what is it called, reinforced defenses on those burrows and watchtowers, as we do see second Ancient War being placed down, so that is going to possibly entail that we might have mass Huntresses rather than an actual Ancient War army, but we shall see, as Tier 2 is nearly done as well. Serpent Wards doing a lot of DPS onto that Moonwell, and that might actually be a Moonwell taken down there. However, Colorful is still pretty healthy in terms of that maximum supply cap, as Orc Burrow and Watchtower is going to be placed down to hopefully solidify this very aggressive fight, as Huntresses are slowly being whittled away by those Serpent Wards, as the Treants are themselves just wailing away with their hands. Armor supply is still pretty even, but of course has been skewed because of those summoned units, but we are down to one Troll Headhunter and a bunch of archers, so Fly might be losing this foothold very soon. His Headhunter is at level 2, most likely with his healing wave, but he really needs to save that mana for those more Serpent Wards, as Keeper should have another wave of treants available. He might actually run out of trees at this point, but oh well, what can you do? It is kind of the sacrifice you have to make, as the TB scroll is going to be forced by the Farseer, as the Shadowhunter and the rest will be able to escape in time. Orc Burrow did get completed and it will be taken down very soon, so a lot of investment coming down here for Fly, and yeah, might have trouble actually catching back up, because now as his opponent has now completed his expansion, is going to mine off that second gold mine. Meanwhile, he himself did suffer a lot, having to invest a lot of resources into that attack and failing. So
our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Yeah, he needs kind of a lot right now, and he might actually regain that advantage by going after the expansion. It's going to be a tough nut to crack, because most of the units are not only not very many, but very bad against fortified armor. So we shall see, as here comes Colorful with his entourage of units, question mark. His archers are actually just intercepting the incoming units, but that's not a lot of units to defend with if you are Colorful, and of course Headhunters don't do too well against those Huntresses, but I guess it is the other way around as well, since Normal does extremely well against medium armor, so it just comes down to the point of who controls their units a lot better. Serpent Wards are just free hitting against that Tree of Life, which won't really amount to too much, but yeah, here we go. Alchemist, as the second hero, did take Acid Bomb for his first ability, so that is going to do a lot of work against this Orc army, who of course naturally has quite a bit of armor with his melee units, but with these ranged units with 0 armor base, that is just a Goblin Alchemist's dream to deal with. and that will be most of the units taken down there for Fly. As Headhunter able to pick up that nice cheeky kill. But as we can see on the population still right now, Fly is ahead at 36 versus his opponent's 29, and that is mainly attributed to the fact that producing off of 2 Ancient of Wars, and of course I think Hunters is a 3 supply anyway, so yeah, it's kind of easy to boost your population stat. Alchemist is taking quite a bit of damage. He doesn't actually have any form of escape whatsoever, as Preserving Staff is not available for the Keeper, and that is going to be an Alchemist taken down at level 1. A cheap sacrifice, to be honest, in exchange for hopefully what could be just the successful defense on this expansion. Entangle onto the Farseer might lead to death, but the Keeper himself is actually taking quite a bit of damage as well, and that will force ATB scrolls. So I did say a cheap sacrifice for this defense, but it might not actually be the case, as Fly might be able to take this down himself finally. We'll see, but a lot of Huntresses are moving out, and not sure if Fly's units are actually in good condition to fight this off. As 44 versus 37, the question will be no. Very surprised that Colorful is sticking to this Mass Huntress composition, but I guess if you severely outnumber your opponent, it doesn't really matter about damage type advantage. +1 attack upgrades for those Headhunters on the way, +1 armor is on the way for those Huntresses, as well as Adapt Chain for the Shamans. So Lightning Shield would be really good right now, because those Huntresses are many in number, and of course they do clump up quite a lot, and also will deal a lot of damage to those Treants as well. So can't wait to see those units in action, but I'm kind of struggling to see why Fly is not going to Fortress Tech as quickly as possible, because Troll Berserkers should be able to perform a lot better than these Troll Headhunters. So I don't know, it's kind of disappointing right now, but Wisp being brought over to detonate and just deal with those wolves slash the mana pool of the Shaman, as we have a Chemical Raging Alchemist who is going ham on the Illusion. I thought he was actually taking down the real Spirit Hunter, but the Illusion did get killed off instead. Another Acid Bomb onto those Headhunters will be doing a lot of damage over time, as the Alchemist did bring the Farseer down to about 40% health. More Treants are being spawned as the Orc army is slowly being chased away. Entangle onto the Headhunter there did get purged, but yeah, he was kind of low health anyway, so I didn't actually really think about it, but Purge is actually a really good way to deal with those Treants. You can see that they actually one-shotted those Treants, which was surprising even for me. I thought they would at least take 2, but yeah, single Purge is very nice, but I would very much love to see Lightning Shield being in play. Although I guess, to be honest, Lightning Shield is kind of a double-edged sword. Colorful is at low upkeep, which is surprising, but then again he does have a second base, so I guess he can afford to do that. Another fight coming here. Wisp are being brought over once again, and we'll see how well they can detonate, as going straight after those Shaman, and they will completely wipe out the mana pools as well as the Spirit Wolves of the Farseers. So here comes the fight, 53 versus 39. This is clearly not in the Orc army's advantage, but maybe those illusions might have tanked a lot. I don't know, but Sahelian Wave is coming down for the Shadow Hunter, as he is now out of mana. He does have Mana Pot, so he can place down another ward as well as another wave of healing. But the Farseer is being chased down by the Alchemist, who, I mean, he looks kind of scary, but I don't know if he's actually even doing enough damage, as yeah, the Treants once again being spawned over. With the Shamans actually out of mana, they are going to be slowly overwhelmed. I believe the Alchemist did get... oh no, He's actually out of mana as well, so he can't go into rage, he can't toss another acid bomb. Shadow Hunter taking part of the damage. He did get to that level 4, but sadly that is not enough mana for anything whatsoever. Alchemist looking scary once again, but he is being focused down by the Orc army and might be forced to preserve back home. There we go. Will be topped up with the Moon One most likely and come back to the battle, as the Shadow Hunter is going to be taken out maybe. Nope, he lives with about 30 health, but the Alchemist returns. Not even healed either. I think he kind of got mistakenly control grouped back into the fight. Healing wave onto the Farseer. He is at no armor basically thanks to that acid bomb. As is he gonna live? Oh, that bird able to get that one crucial hit down and able to do 30 damage. The Farseer is now taken out. I will very much attribute that kill to the acid bomb of the Alchemist there, effectively making him 0 armor, which is of course just true damage at that point. But yeah, right. Not looking good for Fly, to be honest. He is about 25 supply down. His army comp is not very strong either. Headhunters is just not strong enough to deal with mass huntresses, and that is going to be a Farseer. That is going to be a Shadow Hunter being taken down with an Entangle Surround, and yeah, 3 units. Wow, maximum value on those Bouncing Glaives. So that is going to be that. Really disappointed that Fly didn't actually go into Fortress Tech, and I can't actually click on these tabs anymore. I don't know why, but unfortunate. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one. I will see you guys again next time. Hoping Reforged. It's just a lot of our backs because Warcraft definitely needed it.